I think this should be an easy yes or no, though.
It should be.
Yes,
Should be.
I have to.
Okay, very well. So
I beg you. I beg you. It should be an easy, please. Come on. I mean, come on. Just make it seem easy. Hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Please invite your friends and have good time together. Today we are going to talk about the best actors and video editors. They are fool and they think they can fool others. Those people, when they cannot handle the truth, they go in the wrong direction. Well, that's the way they do. If you remember, before this fool, he made videos. Supposedly he promised the Muslims he will debate me. And surprise, surprise, he did not debate me. He did edit my videos, and he was doing a questionnaire. Did you say that? And the second I start answering, he hang up on me. And the same time, the Muslim want to teach me how to read Arabic. In the same time, their prophet do not know how to read Arabic. And the Muslim, they want to make you, or let us say, lose your credit by saying you do not know Arabic. And the funny, I am an Arab, and all my life reading Arabic. And when I say I'm a scholar in Islam, they say he said he's a scholar in Arabic. Yet both of them, those idiots, they do not know what Arabic is about. I will show you an example, and then we will go to the video of Yasir Qadhi, because this is the best comedy of the day.
He's saying the Jews took their side, therefore they deserve the torture. Basically, he is because of his extremism. This guy's an extremist.
I did not say anything of that, but let me show you. You just admitted the one who say support torture, he is extremist. What about the one who do it? Let us see what your prophet he did. Your prophet cut the hands and the feet of his enemy, and he gagged their eyes. Guys, do you see it? He just said he is against torture. Here you see the hypocrisy of those cowards. Here we see Muhammad. He is enjoying torture. Is that torture to put nails which is heated with fire in the eyes of somebody? Is that torture or not? Is it torture to cut the hands and the feet from opposite direction and crucify them and let them die slowly? So they are against torture, but they practice torture. Actually, Islam, all of it is about torture. The man, he can beat his wife. If you steal an egg, we cut your hand. Is that a torture or this is a penalty? An egg. Somebody he steal an egg. In Muhammad, he says, you cut the hand of a person if he steal an egg or a rope. An egg, which means he is hungry. A person, he needs some food. How you cut his hand? Under what logic? That is torture. That is not penalty. So those cowards, they play angels and they play victims. Now, I'm not going to play really too much of those. A lot of garbage there. But I want to go to this video made by an ex-Muslim. His name is Samir Abdullah. I have a conversation with him. Actually, he's a nice guy. But, you know, we disagree about many things because he is an atheist. But we agree in many things about Islam. This guy, he is the one who got Muhammad busted, by the way, about the video of Yasir Qadhi. And there's a link for his video down. You can go to his channel. Let us see what Mr. Samir Abdullah, who is an ex-Muslim, saying.
Yasir Qadhi is no stranger to controversy. Being the academic, he has sometimes ruffled feathers with comments he has made on different issues. This time, even worse than before. He said something now, again, that shook the ground or pulled the rug below the Dawah guy's feet. So much so that Muhammad Hijab took the drastic step of deleting the last 30 minutes of his interview from the point Yasir Qadhi started talking about, guess what? Quran preservation.
Hold on, my friend. Mimi Hijab, he did not do it. It was Allah who did it. Isn't it Allah who do the same? Allah in the Quran, he says that if you want you to forget Quran, if Allah, he calls you to forget Quran, he will give you something like it or similar. So Mimi Hijab, he have part he don't like, and Allah told him we need to make them forget it. The same as the Quran. And the funny, they say to us that the Quran is preserved when the Quran itself saying that Allah calls the Muslim to forget the Quran. And what was the verse was made by Muhammad because himself he forget the Quran. If we go to the hadith, we will find that Muhammad was really forgetting the Quran. Muhammad forgetting such and such verses and such surahs. This is al-Bukhari. The Prophet himself, he forget the Quran. The Prophet heard a man reciting the Quran in the mosque and said, may Allah bestow his mercy on him, as he reminded me of such and such verses and such and surah. By the way, the Muslim, they will say, see, it doesn't say he forget it, it says he remind me. And let us show you. Here we go. This is Sahih Bukhari too. It says, in such and such verses and such verses, surah, which I was caused to forget. But yet they say the Muslims, all of them, they memorize the Quran, when the Prophet himself is the first one to forget the Quran. We go back to the video of our friend Samir Abdullah.
This is your friendly neighborhood ex-Muslim Abdullah Samir here. I'm exploring the topic of Islam and how it affects the lives of believers and disbelievers. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. Yasir had established a rapport with Muhammad Hijab. Hijab was giving him the chance to air some difficult questions and tackle them on his established platform.
Hold on, Abdullah, please. You know, you missed something. We need to introduce who is Yasir Qadhi to Mimi Hijab first. If we go, we will see Mimi Hijab introducing Qadhi as his master. Listen carefully. Who is Yasir Qadhi? Mimi Hijab, tell us.
Someone who has done it all in dawah, has been in the East and has been in the West, has acquired, as I say, more degrees than a thermometer. Dr. Yasir Qadhi, how are you?
I mean, his guy do not need introduction. This guy is a big sheikh. This guy, he known in the West and the East. And later, they cut his video. Look. The video here is 1 hour, 16 minutes and 26 seconds. How many? 1 hour, 16 minutes and 26 seconds. How is the original video? 1 hour, 45 minutes and 8 seconds. What happened? The video went in diet. In less than 1 hour after the interview happened, Mimi Hijab, he went in diet and he cut a huge part, is gone, disappear.
This gives Yasir Qadhi credibility and a safe space to discuss with someone friendly on his side while quashing the worst rumors and attacks that are coming up against him. It's a smart move. The last conversation that Hijab had with Yasir Qadhi, however, took an unexpected turn. It went into a direction he wasn't expecting and did not look good on Hijab. I think Qadhi doesn't care that much what anyone thinks, so he just said what he wanted. He's sort of untouchable and cares more about the truth than pleasing his audience. Or maybe he was just overconfident. Hijab asks a question about the Quran email leaks, which I discussed in my video, Yasir Qadhi Has Doubts in Islam.
Email leaks. They are speaking privately about the Quran corruption, privately. Why you want to leak it? Because we are Muslims. We betray each other. And this is the example.
Hijab said Brother Imran, aka Dawah Man, had leaked some Quran preservation emails. And can you explain yourself about these emails? Do you consider the Hafs and Asim and so on Munazzil, meaning revelation from Allah? Here is what Yasir Qadhi said.
So one of the brothers, he did something, again, unethical. He was expelled from the list, and the list was basically banned because of that, stopped because of that. He couldn't refute to my argument, so he sent it to one of your madkhalis in England. And so then, of course, this madkhali gave it to the other one, and so obviously, everything, all whatever broke loose. But again, this was not something I brought up in public, and I would never bring it up in public. And I don't think it.
Why you will not bring it up in public? Why? Burqa. The burqa religion. Anything is a shameful, stupid, we put a burqa on it. We will not bring it in public. Why you are doing that? It's not for our benefit. People will laugh. And we are laughing. Here we go. It's in public. You see, the Muslims, they say, if Allah will, nothing will happen. It's Allah will. So it's obviously Allah will to get you, all of you, busted. And to get himself busted by Allah will.
It is wise to bring it up in public.
It's not wise.
Every single student of knowledge knows, who studies Ulum al-Quran, that the most difficult topics are ahruf and qira'at.
Every single.
And the concept of ahruf and the reality of ahruf and the relationship of the Uthmanic Mus'haf with the ahruf and the preservation of the ahruf. Is it 1? Is it 3? Is it 7? And the relationship of the qira'at to the ahruf. This is a topic that when you're the beginning student of knowledge, you're like, what is all of this going on here? When you go a little bit more, you learn to simply memorize what your teachers say and regurgitate it out. And you don't fully comprehend. When you do a deep dive is when things get very, very awkward and difficult. And this isn't new. This is from the time of the Sahaba. In the Sahih or the Hasan Hadith of Ubay bin Ka'b, the Hadith of the Ahruf, that when the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the issue of Ahruf and that there are different Ahruf and whatnot, this is in the version of Muslim Imam Ahmad. Ubay bin Ka'b says, authentic Hadith, فَدَخَلَ فِي نَفْسِي شَكٍّ. In my heart, a doubt came that I hadn't had about Islam since the days of Jahiliyyah. This is not a joke, brothers and sisters. The issue of ahruf and qira'at caused confusion to somebody whom the Prophet ﷺ said, if you want to listen to the Quran directly, listen to Ubay. Ubay is
even the one who Muhammad he recommended to listen to the Quran to, he himself, he have a doubt about Muhammad when he heard the stories of those ahruf stuff. This guy is quoting the truth from the time of Muhammad. And how Muhammad refuted the Ubay. Listen carefully how he refuted him.
Is not some even average Sahabi. He is the Qari of the Quran. He is the master. He is who he is. And he goes, فَدَخَلْ فِي نَفْسِي شَكٍّ. What is all of this stuff? And the Prophet put his hand, and then he goes, it all went away.
You know, guys, he have a doubt in his heart about Muhammad being a prophet. Then Muhammad, he touched his chest. And then all the doubt is gone. It's a miracle. This is more powerful than Jesus speaking to the person who cannot see by touching his eyes. This is more powerful than Jesus saying to the dead man, walk and walk. This is more powerful. This is how Muhammad refuted. This is how he proved that he's a prophet. He have a doubt in his heart. He touched his breast. I'm so glad that Ubay was a man, not a woman.
Now, for the first time, I'm telling you here, what was the crisis? I mentioned it, referenced it, but I never explicitly said it. Why didn't I say it? Because it should not be said in public. But unfortunately, these brothers, because they released the emails, so then I have to then get it. This was the issue. That the issue of ahruf and preservation and qira'at and relationships between them, these are very, very difficult issues. And the most advanced of our scholars, they're not quite fully certain how to solve all of the unanswered questions in there.
Now, Muhammad Hijab should have known about the Streisand effect. When Barbra Streisand tried to hide photos of the mansion in California, it drew further attention to it. Hijab, if you try to hide something, that just makes it go more viral. If the video is already mirrored on Yasir Qadhi's channel, what good would removing part of it from yours be? Do you really think that'll work? But I know what Hijab will say. We did this because we didn't want to confuse the masses. Muslims don't need to know about Quran preservation. It'll hurt their iman and cause more doubt. Like Yasir Qadhi said, it's not wise to discuss these issues in public.
It's not.
Better we keep it behind closed doors.
Under the burqa.
There was even a bigger bombshell that came later.
And by the way, this is now a well-known open secret amongst many Muslim graduate students and academics around the world. And this is well known. Traditional understandings of ahruf and qira'at cannot answer some of these pressing questions that are now being poked by our people outside of, by our academics, by their academics outside of the faith tradition. You see, in a Muslim environment, there's always some respect that we have for the Quran. We should. In a Muslim environment, we'll press a little bit and then we'll say, okay, khalas, sami'na wa ata'na. And that's great, alhamdulillah.
خلاص سمعنا وأطعنا, which means okay, stop here, we obey. We heard and we obey. Don't question. This is what Muslims will do.
When you go to academia, they don't have that red line. And they're going to just, you know, the famous story of the emperor with no clothes. They're going to just point out, no, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's not true, and this and that.
Did you notice what he said? The famous story of the emperor with no clothes. The king is naked. He just said that Muhammad, his nakedness exposed. Otherwise, why he is comparing the Quran and Muhammad to the story of the naked king and the boy, who nobody dared to say to him, you are naked, but the boy is innocent. He said the king is naked. He just said that. And now he is comparing Yasir Qadhi, the fool king, to the fool Muhammad. Very glorious.
And they'll bring issues, which I'm not going to mention explicitly, that you know are true because they're in your own books. They're not inventing anything new. They'll bring you riwayat and they'll bring you athar, and then you add to that very well-known issues of, I don't even want to be explicit. And then you bring on top of that makhtutat, and then. And it's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.
The standard narrative have holes. Islam have holes. Many sink, is sinking, is leaking everywhere. So we have to put a glue. And then what is the glue we will use? Mimi hijab glue. The one he said in every video. He go online, he have like little ball in his hand, says, brothers and sisters, buy this.
The standard narrative does not answer some very pressing questions. Okay? This is what I'm going to say.
Well-known secret among academics, huh? And did you catch that? He just said, Alhamdulillah. We poke a little and then we stop. Is he serious? He's saying it's good to be skeptical but not actually follow the evidence where it leads? Why not? Because it'll take you out of Islam? Because it'll destroy the narrative of the Quran being fully preserved? And then the final bombshell. Muhammad Hijab thought he was going to save the day with this question. But it so spectacularly backfired on him. It backfired so badly like you cannot imagine. Hijab asks, if you had a blank mushaf, meaning a Quran, and write down with no interference what was revealed from Allah, would you write down what corresponds to the existing Quran we have? Yasir Qadhi interrupted him and didn't even let him finish the question.
Ask you one question to try and make this as specific as possible. I think if I were to give you a blank mushaf, yeah, and tell you to write what is munazzal verbatim from Allah into that mushaf with no human interference, would you write something which corresponds?
It's not an easy answer. It's not an easy yes or no. It is enough for the Muslim to believe that the
I think
Quran
this should
is
be an easy yes or no, though.
It should be.
Yes,
Should be.
I have to.
Okay, very, very well. So
I beg you. I beg you. It should be an easy, please. Come on. I mean, come on. Just make it seem easy, brother. Come on. This should be an easy. Like, I mean, this guy, he cannot keep his mouth shut. He want to continue. He tried to fix it. He make it blind. The first eye is gone. Now he is making the second eye go blind. And now he have no eyes.
it's enough for the Muslim to believe that the
I think
Quran
this should
is
be an easy yes or no, though. Yes, Qadhi. I have to.
Okay, very, very well. So, yeah, Muhammad, after we get off this phone call, me and you, let's have a number of discussions. No problem. I'm very open with advanced students. But these issues should not... Look.
Did he call him a student? Did he call him a student? Advanced student. He is advanced student. And maybe hijab like a puppy. He did not say, I'm not your student. He did not say what I'm talking about. I'm not your student. He said, I like discussion with advanced students. Calling hijab a student of him. And yes, he is. He have tons of interview in the car. Even he asked him about things which is very silly. What to do.
After we get off this phone call, me and you, let's have a number of discussions. No problem. I'm very open with advanced students. But these issues should not... Look, it is Kalamullah, what is going to be written. It is Kalamullah. It is
what would you write?
You're pushing me. And I'm saying it's not hikmah to... Listen, I have a condition. Like I said, everything I say is going to be factual. If I wanted to do tawri and whatnot, I would do it right now in front of you. There is no need for tawri.
You say if you want to do tawriya, you see the Muslims, they do tawriya, which means they do taqiyya. They hide things. They use burqa. Imagine they are saying that this is what we do. He says, but it's not time for me now to use tawriya. I'm not going to hide it now. Don't force me now. Because this conversation is between two Muslims and supposedly the audience are Muslims. So there's no need for us to do tawriya now and cover it, but there's no need to put it in public.
The The Quran is the uncreated speech of Allah. The Quran is preserved. The Quran is known. The Quran is mutawatir. And alhamdulillah, all of the qira'at are the Quran. All of the qira'at are authentic. Alhamdulillah. Leave it at that, ya akhi. Beyond this,
Leave it at that. That's it. Don't discuss it.
honestly, I have no problem. We'll have a discussion or take my class.
Or take my class. Did you see what Muhammad Hijab said to him after he said to him, take my class? He cut the video.
But beyond this requires background information. It is enough for the Muslim to know that the Quran is the speech of Allah that has been protected, and what we recite is the kalam of Allah.
That's it.
That is enough for the Muslim to know.
I appreciate what you're saying,
one thing.
but
There you have it, folks. The Quran is the speech of Allah. It's preserved because it says it is. End of story. Stop asking questions. Don't worry about it. Just do your 5 times prayers and carry on. You know, it's even worse than this. Hijab is now distancing himself from what Yasir Qadhi said. So much for supporting his guest, his scholarly guest. He issued a statement that included, if Dr. Qadhi holds an opinion that opposes the ijma, consensus, of the ummah or makes anti-normative claims, he will be refuted. Can you imagine talking about your guest like that, an esteemed scholar? What a slimy thing to do. To throw him under the bus to save yourself. At least you could have defended his brother. Not much of a friend behaving like this, if you ask me.
Absolutely. This is Islam, my friend. They betray each other. It's like a hyena, a tribe. There is no friendship. There is no loyalty. There is nothing called dignity. There is nothing called right and wrong. Save myself, throw himself under the bus. Mimi Hijab, he will lose donation because of the questions he made. Yasir Qadhi, he will lose donation because of the answer he gave. Both of them now, they are in chaos. The first one is hiding, the second one is hiding too. He said clearly, we should not put it in public. I'm not going to answer you in public. Don't force me, don't push me. And then he says, you will be refuted. A second ago, you were asking him for his opinion. A second ago, you were agreeing that you are his student. Tons of interviews. Yasir Qadhi, what we should do here? Yasir Qadhi, what do you think? Yasir Qadhi, and this is what this interview is about. He's asking Yasir Qadhi what is right. So how come Yasir Qadhi will be refuted now? Because Yasir Qadhi, he said that no one dare to say. And I'm sure Yasir Qadhi, by the way, he is sorry for saying this, having this interview. Both of them, they're feeling bad for having such an interview, for it's exposed the hypocrisy of the Muslims and how they betray each other. You know, they might even add stories to the stories to make spices about it, to fabricate story about you, to make you lose the credit. And now if you go on YouTube, you will find tons of videos made by Muslims attacking Yasir Qadhi. Suddenly all the Muslims want to refute Yasir Qadhi. But the fact, the one who did this problem is Mimi. May Allah bless him and give him extra version. So those people, they have no dignity, no honesty, fraud following a fraud. You will notice the second you leave Islam, the dignity come back. Like what happened to this gentleman. He's been honest. He is born of a Muslim family. His family, all of them, I think, Muslim. Actually, not only that, I saw one of his videos. He's saying that he was working in da'wah. He want to promote Islam. He want to invite people to Islam. And then the more he learned, the more he noticed that Islam is nothing but a fraud. So when there is a Muslim, he have a dignity. He act with his dignity. So we can say not all Muslims are the same. Muslims who they are doing business like Mimi Hijab are a fraud. They do the whore business. And the whore business is very simple. Everything is for sale. God, religion, prophets, and even their friend Qadri is for sale now. So they can make profit like their prophet, the prophet of the booty. Prophet, booty, Muhammad. Thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you. Until we see you soon again. Christ is Lord. Islam is a fraud. And thanks for Mimi Hijab and all the team for the bad play, which we enjoy. God bless. Take care.